All right, so today I'm on the CYCROWN CycHunter electric bike, moped style, really cool looking bike. And this is the dual battery version. They do also offer a single battery version if you want lower range, but of course I always want more range with this. So yeah, with the dual battery, I should be able to get up to 120-mile range. And with the single battery, you can get up to around 60 miles. And the single battery version has a normal price of $999, but right now it's on sale for $859. And the dual battery version has a normal price of $1,199, but right now it's on sale for $1,099. And color options include green and also this really nice and sleek black looking color. And this bike does have a 750 watt motor that peaks out at 1,000 watts. And so that should be able to get you up to 28 miles per hour because this bike is a class 3 electric bike, and the batteries themselves come in each at 48 volts and 13 amp hours. But let's get into it and talk about the design of this bike because it's really cool looking. For the low price that it is for an e-bike of this type of caliber, I love the way this bike looks. I love the openness with the frame, and they're calling this their diamond frame structure, and the welding points and everything on this look very nice and clean. I really love the lines of this bike, and also I like how the dual batteries are sitting as well. Cable management up front is really good, not sloppy at all. So yeah, for the price, they really have nailed the look of this bike and not making it look or feel cheap. It does feel pretty sturdy when I am riding it. And also the handlebars are kind of like your BMX style handlebars. And then also you do have some rubber grips on the left and right, which are decent. And on the left hand side of the handlebars, you do have the controls for the headlight, which is an LED headlight, really nice big motorcycle style headlight. And also you have the controls for the turn signals that show up in the rear tail light / brake light. So no turn signals up front. I would like to see that, but yeah, you do have turn signals on the back. And over here, you also do have the button for the electronic horn. And it's pretty loud. And next to those controls, you will find the controls for the bike itself. So you have the power button, and also you have the plus and minus button to be able to go up and down with the different pedal assist modes. And also you can press down on the minus button to initiate a walking mode for this bike. So if you are walking up a hill or just moving it around, that will turn on the motor just for a little bit to kind of help you out. And then on the middle, we do have a color display, which is pretty good. So it does perform well in brightness. And also I have my sunglasses on right now and I can see it just fine. So I like the way this display looks. It gives you your information as far as your speedometer and your odometer, but you don't get any type of USB port or anything to be able to charge your phone up while you're riding. Not a deal breaker, but something that would be nice to see. And then on the right-hand side, you do have the controls for the 7-speed Shimano shifter. Also, you do have a half-twist throttle here on the right-hand side that does perform well and gives you that motorcycle-style feeling when you are riding. And then the wheels on this bike are your typical 20-by-4-inch fat old e-bike tires. So these make these tires really good for not only riding in the road, but also going a little bit off-road as well. And these are spokeless tires, so I like that the rims on the inside will require less maintenance than your typical spoke tires. So they also do add to the overall look of the bike as well. All right, so now for my speed test here. So again, this is a class 3 electric bike. I weigh around 220 pounds right now. So we'll see what we can get while using the throttle and also pedal assist. But first, just using the half twist throttle. And 3, 2, 1, boom. And here we go. Acceleration is pretty smooth and steady. It's not very fast and jumpy, but we're already at 13, 14, 15 miles per hour. And the GPS app on my phone and the bike's display is keeping up together. We hit 21, we hit 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and we're showing 27 miles per hour on my GPS app, but 28 on the bike's display. So that's definitely really good. So yeah, using throttle only, you can get up to 28 miles per hour in a pretty nice fast pace here. And now let me test out these mechanical disc brakes here. I'm gonna pull over to the side and press down on them. And they're pretty decent for being mechanical and not being hydraulic disc brakes. So you always want to see hydraulic disc brakes, but it's really not a deal breaker with a bike that can only go up to 28 miles per hour. Now we are starting to get into the 30 mile per hour range. Definitely I would like to see hydraulic disc brakes, but to try to keep the price down, I can see why they did that, but not a really big deal for this type of bike in my opinion. All right, so now for the same test while using pedal assist. So 3, 2, 1, boom. And here we go. So the takeoff while using pedal assist is even slower than it is with acceleration. So definitely something that I would like to see improve. But let me go ahead and go to gear 7. I am in pedal assist level 5 and we're already at 20 miles per hour. And I am pumping my legs. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, we hit 28 miles per hour pretty quickly on this thing. So very nice and fast. And I'm gonna go up here on the bike path. And we do have some ghost pedaling right now while we hit the 28 miles per hour. But yeah, that was pretty quick. Even for the slow start, you are still able to get up to 28 miles per hour pretty quickly on this thing. All right, so now let's go a little bit off-road here. So we do have some gravel, which this thing handles pretty well. But also now we're gonna go into some grass. And yeah, I'm feeling these bumps a little bit. So this bike does have that dual suspension, but you know, it's not the cushiony suspension that you might expect from a dual suspension. It gets the job done as far as basic bounciness to it, but yeah, definitely not going to be the most comfortable for going off-road. So this is going to be primarily a bike that I do want to keep on the road and handle different potholes and stuff like that. But what is helping the ride quality is this really nice and long brown seat here. So I love the way this thing looks. It adds to the design of the bike. And also they're calling it an elastic saddle as well. So yeah, it feels really good, decent amount of cushion on it. And I like the fact that I can scoot back if I want to. And so if you do have long legs or you are a little bit of a taller rider, you have that room to be able to adjust yourself, which is nice. And as far as the recommended rider height for this bike, it is between 5'3" and 6'5". And then also the overall weight that this bike can handle, the load is going to be 330 pounds. Now the bike does weigh 74.5 pounds, which doesn't make it really heavy at all. So even with the batteries on, I found moving this bike was easy. But you know, again, I can lift a little bit of weight, but you can always take off both batteries if you are trying to move it around to decrease that weight even more. And also this bike is rated IPX42 for water resistance. Don't leave it out in the rain, but if you are riding and you get caught in the rain, this thing will be pretty secure as far as keeping the water out of the wrong places. And okay, so now for my very long and steep hill test, just using the throttle only. So 3, 2, 1, boom, here we go. So I expected a slow start and we got a little bit of a slow start here, but we're creeping along at 7, 8 miles per hour. I want to see around 10 to 12, but we're at 9.7, 10 miles per hour. And can we get 11? Can we get 11? All right, so we got up to 10 miles per hour with that. So yeah, I definitely like to see maybe, you know, again, I said 10 to 12, so 11 or 12 is actually probably ideal. But, you know, again, with the slow acceleration with this, that was to be expected. So if you are starting from a dead stop trying to go up hills and stuff, expect to take a little bit of time. Something else I did notice is that you don't get any turn signal indicators on the display, and also it doesn't make any type of audible sound either. So I wish it did have something at least on the display to know that, you know, you left your turn signals on when you are turning. So yeah, anyway, just pay attention to that. All right, so now let's talk about the range. So again, dual battery version that I have is rated to get you up to 120 miles, but you should never expect that unless you weigh only 5 pounds and you are using pedal assist level 1. And personally, I always chop off like 25, 30% anyway off of the estimated range just because of how much I weigh. And also I know the fact that I will be using the throttle most of the time when I am riding. But even while doing that, you still have a really good amount of range with this bike. So easy for being able to give you all day riding with this dual battery version. And the single battery version, still up to 60 miles. You know, I would probably say around 40 miles or so if you are riding pretty heavy, maybe 35 to 40 miles. But you know, still that should be a lot for people just trying to take this bike out to kind of cruise around and stuff, which this is a really nice cruising style bike. This bike handles really well for its size. And you can see here, I'm smashing down on the throttle here. The handling is really nice and tight. And yeah, this thing is just really fun to ride. And I think that's the main point of something like this. All right, so I think that's about it. So this CycHunter e-bike is a bike that feels like it should cost around like $1,500 or so, but you can get it for around the $1,000 price tag, depending on which battery version that you're getting. And again, if you go single battery, you're looking around $850 if it's on sale. So that's a really still of a deal, but you're not missing out on the performance that I expect at this price, but also the build quality and just how it feels to ride and just feeling like a bike that doesn't feel like it's really using cheap components or anything outside of like missing hydraulic disc brakes, which would add to the price. But overall, again, when I'm riding, I don't miss them that much because this bike can't go over, you know, 32 miles per hour. But outside of that, really, and the acceleration being a little bit slow at times, but not most of the time, I find that if you've been like waiting to buy an e-bike or looking for the right one, but you don't want to break the bank, you don't want to spend a lot of money, I think this is a pretty good deal to look at. So I'm going to drop a link down below in the description of this video. If I do have any type of promotions or anything like that for this bike, I'll leave that in the description as well. And also it might be an affiliate link. So if you do use that, that does help support the channel. But yeah, drop a comment down below and let me know what you think about this CyCROWN CycHunter electric bike. And like always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.